Delverofsouls here. Sorry if it sounds like I'm asleep or tired. It's just it's like almost 11, so it's getting there, but not yet. And I ain't down and out yet. And what? Caution? Hell, do I need caution? Okay, well I'm just gonna sleep an hour. Yeah, so my save earlier. Well, from where I was at earlier to where I'm at now, kind of don't really match up. I think I lost like 20 or 30 minutes, but it's whatever. It's okay. I don't really care. I don't mind doing this over again. It's not like I'm really losing much anyways, besides just getting into the museum and fighting off them damn raiders. So we get to see me die a couple more times, so yay. Yeah, take that. Run across and hide in here. Jump, pop down. Yep, grab that. Gotta get that buff out. And Preston can deal with those, because I ain't dealing with shit right now. Heal your companion. What? Dogmeat already down? Going, charging off into the fight without a battle buddy, man. No. Okay, well, Wreck 1, man. Wreck 1. I got my ass handed to me. And I don't appreciate it. I do not appreciate it. That's for dang sure's. Yeah, so I'm just just doing another video for tonight. Doing an episode 6 while I can, because little guy's out, so I can stream for a little bit longer tonight, maybe 2-3 hours. Because I think earlier I was only able to get myself up for a little bit. Well, I'm just getting some of these links out, and then we can go back to getting myself killed again. I think I just got one more left, and then I'm good to go. Hey, there we go. Alright, now that should be it. I should be good. So yeah. Okay. Let's get to it. I really wish that they had more of these buildings opened and able to be, you know, gone into. Also, I really don't think that a lot of these would be this boarded up, you know, in real life. After the bombs fell, I don't think that many would be boarded up, or, you know, like, it would be boarded up to this extent. We were, like, over 200 years. I mean, I think somebody would have came in and ripped out why them doors were closed. I think someone would have came in and just ripped them open already, you know? Like, don't really make sense to me why they're boarded up. Here. Damn dog, man. Where did he go down at? Is he already down the street? Like, where is he? Oh no, he's over here. Was he fighting? Was he fighting? A bug or something? Dog meat, what the hell are you doing? Come on.
Hey.
Dog meat. Dog meat. Stupid bug, man. Piss off for my dog, you friggin' loser. Dog meat, you come here. You stay by my side. You're a trusty, loyal companion, but you come to me. Yeah, we're just gonna go and see what we can grab or what we can get. Explore around a little bit. Ooh, what do we have? Nothing. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. And we're up. And over, down, nothing. Oh, well, screw you too. Stupid stairs that I could have taken the whole time. Yep, I'm not doing that the hard way. Oh man, you killed your boss. Oh, there's some soap. Take a lamp. And forget that stuff.
Don't think I can pick this.
Oh, shit. Hey, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Get some jet. Grab that. And yeah, you're definitely dead. And jump down. And we're good. We're gonna sneak out the back door just because we can. Probably gonna get shot in the face by a raider, but yeah. Anyways, how you doing? Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whatever time it is for you. I hope it is a good and fabulous whatever it is for you. Really do. Yeah, you... Okay, you found something in the building I was already going. And... Well, thank you, dog meat. Thank you. Alright, get some of that pork and beans. Bobby pins, heck yeah. Sleeping bag. Ooh, yeah, we can pick that.
Sweet.
Okay, and that... Oh, almost was about to be everything. Alright, so we're just gonna go down here, through here, and go over here, grab what's down here, and then we're just gonna go back up and get Preston into a sanctuary. Oh! Well, that was lucky that we didn't die, because that would have sucked. I'm just gonna take that. Yeah, we're just gonna take everything. And nothing in there. Nothing special. And that's a sealed container. Okay, so we're just gonna go back up into... Yeah, we're just gonna go back up and into the city now, and oh my gosh, that truck is gonna explode. Get him, dog meat, get him! Or I'll hit him in the back. Whatever one works.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of veterans inside. The Rangers are almost through the door. Grab that laser weapon and help us, please.
Yeah, it's level up time. I probably just picked up stuff I don't need, so I'm just gonna... Ooh, that's definitely a need. Need that. And we're just gonna transfer stuff in here we don't need. Don't need that. That's stuff we don't need that. Or that. So we're just gonna keep these. Actually, I don't need that. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. How you doing? Biotics. Not gonna leave any of the healing items because I'm probably gonna need those. You know what? Yeah, I can leave that. I'll just grab everything on my way out. Go into my inventory and put on something that's probably going to protect me better than this, because this is just terrible. Definitely just terrible. Alright, so I got left arm. Hey, Skull, what up? Ooh, actually, you know what? I'll put on the Raider and that one, and then put on the chest piece. So that should give me enough armor. Hey, what up? What up, Epi? Ah, dang. Alright, let's see how I look. Totally ghetto, but I like it. Let's do it. Not much running part of it. Oh, wow! That's something new. Wow, wow, Skull. Yeah, but yeah, Skull. I was in Epi stream earlier. Me and him did a Q&A. Let's get up here and then get this defile and. Oh, yeah, I got found out. Time to go. Ah, it's the British. It's the British. Stupid British people. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm being funny. Oh, heck yeah. Definitely feeling the love now. Because I think when I woke up this morning, I had about 53 or 55. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'm totally happy with it. I'm ecstatic about it. Shut up. Stupid dog, don't bark. Give my position away. Ah, shit. That didn't work. Well, let's go with the right. And right in the dome piece. Let's see if there's anything over here I can grab before I make my way over. Cigar box, nothing. Cap stash, definitely gonna take that. Nothing. Had to do it. It was a threat. It was mannequins, and they were dressed as the redcoats. I perceived that as a threat to my independence. Alright, now we're gonna drop down.
I'm telling you, man, let's just get the hell out of here. We got no reason to.
Alright, now we're gonna get crunk on some jet, that's for sure. I was take those British soldiers' costumes off. I know. It also really sucks that they don't have any Continental Army uniforms. You know, the blue ones. It sucks they don't have either those, or you can't take the red coat, you know, stuff, which always sucks. Which really does. Yeah. Advantage me. Disadvantage Raiders.
I'm coming in there, and I'm gonna skin every last one of you.
Come on, man. They ain't going nowhere.
What? What was that? A door just opened on its own.
End of the line.
Surprise, bitch! What the? Stop hitting my dog, loser. Yeah, I can come back for all that. None. Yeah, that's all good.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Yeah, Skull, I'm actually, I'm playing a lot of different games,
Glad to help.
right now, because
Well, that's true. We
I
could use some
have,
more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a
Watch
bit of a
Dogs I
mess
just
here.
started playing. I have both, Watch Dogs 1 and 2,
Please,
and,
go on.
I just have a
month
lot
ago,
of different
there were
games
20
that I have
of
up.
us.
I
Yesterday,
actually
there were 8.
asked a question earlier,
Now we're 5.
in my Discord.
First,
But,
it was the Bulls in Lexington, and
nobody's
now
really
this
answered it,
mess.
so I'll just ask if you guys have seen any of my other videos or have seen the titles for it. Like, which game or like, which stuff do you think I should bring back? Like I have
Sorry.
one for
Sounds really rough.
Tropico 5. I have The
Good to
Witcher
meet someone who
3.
really cares. Anyway, we figured
Far
Concord
Cry
would be a safe place
5,
to settle.
and
Those Raiders proved
I
us
was
wrong.
thinking about doing a Far Cry Primal
Well, we do have one
playthrough,
idea.
but
One good idea can make all the difference.
so, I mean, it's
Burgess?
just
Tell her.
all
There's
depending
a
on what you
crashed
guys
vertibird
want.
up on the roof.
I
Old
have a
school.
lot of games that I can
Pre-war.
play.
You might have seen it.
I also have a
Well,
Red Dead
looks like
Redemption
one of his
2.
passengers
I have
left
like
behind a
3 or 4
serious
videos on
sweet
that.
goodie.
Right
They're
now I'm
talking
just doing
old
a
school
survival run.
cherry
I'm going between
245
this and
power.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Military issue.
I just decided to take a break from Red Dead Redemption
I like it.
so I can just put out some more
Yeah, I
Fallout
thought
because I
you
just felt
might.
like playing Fallout.
Protection with
'cause
an added bonus.
It's a pretty good game.
Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that, and those Raiders get an express ticket to hell.
That's
You
actually
dig?
pretty funny, Skull. Yeah, that's awesome.
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right?
That's actually pretty awesome, though.
Only there's one hitch. The suit's out of juice. Probably been dry for 100 years. It can be powered up again. But we're a bit
But
stuck.
Skull, I will let you know that this is my first time playing Fallout 4 in survival.
I'll help if I can.
What you'll need is an old pre-war
So it took
FC.
me a minute to figure things
standardized
out. Like my
fusion core.
first 3
The
videos,
high-grade,
I was
long-term nuclear
only
battery
in.
used by the military and some companies way back
Hey,
when. We know
Reed.
right where to find one.
But we can't
That's
get
awesome.
to the
Hey,
damn
how's it
thing.
going?
It's down in the basement. Locked behind
Yeah,
a
so,
security gate. Look,
Yeah, but
I fixed
Watch
us.
Dogs, I
I
think I
take
got
it.
like 3 episodes in,
Bypassing
or I
security
made
ain't
3
exactly
episodes,
my
roughly
forte.
about an hour
You could give it a shot.
each, and
Can't be too hard. I'll see what I can do.
I think that's
Well, all
pretty
right.
much it for that,
Maybe
and I
our
think
luck's
I
finally
can
turning
do
around.
some more
Once
on
you
that,
jack the
because
points of
that
the
one was
power
actually
armor and grab that
requested
minigun, those
by
raiders will
Late.
know they picked the wrong fight.
I sent
Good luck.
Late a couple photos of everything that like all my games that I have. I'm good. It's hold on, what time is it here? It's 11:25 p.m. So I'm still up. I got Little Souls asleep. Mrs. Souls is asleep. So I am free to play for a couple hours and have some good stuff for you guys. And yeah, ooh,
Perfect.
heck yeah, who doesn't want to play Atomic Command? Oh my gosh, that's why I play this game. Oh my gosh, a game within a video game. Who would have thunk it? Oh wow, so you're on the East Coast.
We can't just
Or
get
you're
trapped in here.
East Coast?
This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Somebody do something.
Nice. I actually haven't played through and finished Watch Dogs 1 or 2. I've only played maybe about 3 hours into Watch Dogs 1 before I decided to make the stream. And I started everything brand new. Watch Dogs 2, I probably played maybe 5 hours into it. And I never finished the story, so I can easily go back and redo all of that. Okay, well, you watch the stream until you knock out, and I hope, you know, that you listening to me and watching me play puts you to sleep, because you need your sleep because you weren't feeling that good earlier. So I really do hope that, you know... Oh, and I fell. Okay, well, at least I didn't break anything. Oh, that I should have broken an ankle, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, I know how to hack. Okay, let's see what kind of story we can come up with. The ankle was... Ooh, wait. No, there's that. That sucks. So ankle doesn't work, so pole, range, guide, nope, nothing, none of those. Yeah, I know I could have easily looked at it. I'm feeling a little sick, but now that... Okay, well that's good. I hope that Oh yeah, Far Cry, you need to, like, branch out and you need to do the side quest, because that's essential, because without it, you die. Like, you need the experience from just running around and doing side missions. And I hope that the orange juice or the peppermint idea that I was talking to you about when I was doing the Q&A with Epi helped you out. Okay, and I'm just gonna back out and go back in. Okay, so Crass. The Crass Roman had plots of... Okay, well, no, I'm not gonna do that. I need to reset my... Reset. Dunes. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate these things. Why can't I just shoot the lock off? It's so much easier in real life. Shoot the lock off. Start work again Monday. Oh, that sucks. I hate working early Mondays. I remember waking up at 4:30 in the morning just to be able to drive to a... Oh my god. You know, forget that. Novice lock. I'm done with it.
Got it.
Yep, there we go. Done. So much faster. You're peakish because of lack of food. I don't care. Let them starve. I'm just kidding. Wait, was that on the right side? Yeah, that was the right side. I needed to go through here, then up. Yeah, I mean, going to school is only really good if you have friends to go with you. Or, you know, if you have decent friends. Like, I had a small group of friends, like 5 or 6 when I was in school. I never really wanted to have, like, a large group of friends. Oh, no, I actually don't. I know of animes, but they don't have samurais, so there's that. Yeah, see, if you got like a good, like, you know, small number of friends, that's perfectly fine. Like, that shouldn't matter. Like, your friends are your friends. It doesn't matter, like, the quantity. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter the quantity. It just matters the quality. Like, if they're gonna be lifelong friends, then I say just keep them. You know. Like,
Show me that fancy gun up close. Not a lot of people can get past my boys. I give you that.
research. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't help you out there, Skull. Get back here. No, I'm not dying. You are not killing me. Yes, I will run and I will hide because I am wearing power armor. Your bullets cannot touch me. Oh. Yeah, I haven't watched anything from Westworld yet. I'm sorry about that one, but I do have some experience with that because I did have 2 friends in high school that liked me a little bit more than they should have. Oh, nope, now it's time for a minigun. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. And we need to go through that entire museum again. Oh yeah. Yep. So like 20 minutes of everything I did now no longer counts. Oh man. Yep, but in survival mode, saves and quick saves are disabled. The only way you can save is if you sleep in a mattress. Don't you try and backhand me. Lay you right out. Oh, wow. Damn. That was really anticlimactic because I was just about to like just run up and just blast him in the back. Hey, what up, Slug Cat? Oh, nah, man, you good? Yeah, man, you go hibernate, man. You need that sleep. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Dogmeat will find his way to me eventually. Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here. Peel. And then throw on the chest. Okay. Okay, yeah, not a problem, man. Do whatever you need to do. Probably not the smartest idea, so I'm gonna shoot at them from a distance. Way to go, dog meat. It's over there, so right now it's about midnight. Oh, he sees me, I'm down. Oh, no, wrong one. Wrong button. Yeah, dog meat in with the save. Auto pistol? Heck yeah. Probably because you're sleep deprived. That's probably why. Yeah, but hey, Mr. Hubby, what's up? Okay, cool. Thanks for lurking, Mr. Hubby. It's always good to have you here. Yeah, Skull, my my PSN is the exact same as my YouTube. It's spelled the exact same way. So just type in Delverofsouls and I'll either get a notification on my phone or it'll pop up on the screen and I'll quickly add you. Yay, now I have an advanced lock. So now we're gonna get into something more appropriate. Left leg, right arm. Get some road leathers on instead of running around all willy-nilly. Okay, so I have left arm, left leg, right arm. So I got nothing on my right leg. Did one of these losers have something for their leg? One of these? No, I don't need a sack hood. That's not going to do me any good. Yep, right leg. There we go. There we go. Now I got armor. Okay, so now I'm just gonna switch this back to something that has a little bit more kick to it. We're going inside of a building, so shotgun, never a bad idea. But I do wish that they actually put in a pump action shotgun into the base game, because that would have just made it perfect. And there you are, Skull. I got you. Pump two to her, and now she's down. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I got you. I got your request right there, Skull. Give me 1 second, everybody. Okay, so we are back, Skull. I got you added. So, whoa, she just came out of nowhere. She was not here last time. So that kind of caught me off guard. You know, just to speed up this whole entire process. Grab that core. See anything good here? Take the Mentax. Yeah, sorry if the light is really bright on the game. It's just that's like the only way I can see. I don't really like the standard green light that they give you as the Pit-Boy flashlight. Really hate that.
Just getting warmed up over here.
Oh wow. Yeah, but actually, the funny thing is that blue is actually supposed to be easier on the eyes than anything else. And I'm just gonna take some jet this time. You know, take a blood pack, get hopped up on some jet, eat a bowl of noodles, and drink a. Wow, I hit that dude's head so hard it exploded. Dang. Oh my god, out of the way. Like, that was insane. I literally hit that dude's head and his head just exploded. Oh man, that was pretty cool.
I'm coming in there, and we're gonna skin every last one of you. Come on, man, they ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to do. You hear that? We're gonna walk. Fire! Kill him!
Oh no, reload, reload! Ah! Oh! Ooh! Damn, dog meat! Get him! That's why I love dog meat. He's just like ruthless. Wait, was that a regular bolt action rifle? Oh, no, it was a pipe rifle. Okay, never mind. Yeah, created. I don't know what was up with that. It just depends. Like,
Man, I don't know who you are.
I
but
like
your time
blue
is impeccable.
because,
Preston Garden. I don't
as
know
to
what
my
minute.
knowledge, blue is actually easier on the eyes.
Glad to help.
Well, if that's true,
Because of the
we could use some more
UV
goodwill.
UV
As you can see, we're
index.
in a bit of a mess here.
Blue is easier to on your eyes for longer periods of time, instead of yellow. Yellow is actually
Please, go on.
harder on your
A
eyes, so it
month
makes
ago,
your eyes
there were
hurt
20 of us.
a lot faster.
Yesterday there were
That's why
8.
you won't actually see yellow.
Now
It'll
we're
be more of a brighter
First it was the Bulls
orange
in Lexington, and
and
now
less
this
of a
mess.
yellow.
Sorry. Sounds really rough.
But
Thanks. It's good to meet someone who really cares.
that's hilarious.
Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle.
All right,
Those raiders
all right,
proved us wrong.
Skull.
But-
You have a great night.
Well, we do have one idea. You help us, we'll help you.
Okay, yeah,
One good idea can make all the difference.
yeah. Blue is good.
Tell her.
There's a
Okay,
class
see,
bird
like,
bird up on the
I-
roof.
orange.
Old school.
If
Pre-war.
orange hurts your eyes,
You
go
might
with
have
what go with what works for
Well,
you. Like
looks
if
like you just left behind
my
a
wife,
seriously
Mrs. Souls,
sweet
she
goodie.
prefers purple.
We're talking a full
Purple
suit of cherry T45
works for
power.
her.
Military issue.
Blue works for me.
I like it.
And
Yeah, I thought you might.
like I've
Protection
played
with
with the
an added
green.
bonus.
It's just I don't.
Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that, and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
I don't
Minigun.
really use anything else other than
Now we're
blue
talking.
because that's what works for
I
me.
know, right?
It's just
Only
shooter's
there's
preference.
one hitch.
Whatever works for you,
Suit's out of juice.
you do you.
Probably been dry for 100 years. It can be powered up again. But
I'll help if I can.
What you'll need is an old pre-war FC. A
we can't get to the
Also,
damn
I have found
Down
out that
look,
if you use blue,
fix
it actually
stuff.
makes the light
I
on your
tinker.
Pit-Boy a lot brighter,
Bypassing
and it helps you
security
see
ain't
at
exactly
night
my forte.
in really dark areas like
You could give it a shot.
Far Harbor, or just in some
Actually,
really
I
dark
already
areas
grabbed
in
a
the
fusion
base
core.
game or
We're
in
set.
Nuka World.
Well, all right.
It
Maybe
does
our
help
luck's
you
finally
see
turning around.
a lot better,
Once you
and
jack
it
the
does
point to the power armor,
radiate
grab
out
that
a little
minigun,
bit better
those raiders will know they
than
picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
than the light from the standard green.
Careful, kid. Bingo.
You're with the rescue team?
You with the rescue team? I am the rescue team.
Angry.
Wow, I feel like... oh, man. If any of you have ever seen Black Hawk Down, with Josh Hartnett and a couple of the other bigger movie stars, you will know that line. Because in there's a part of dialogue where the pilot for one of the helicopters asks, "Are you part of the rescue team?" And there's two snipers, Chenille and Gordon, and their answer is, "We are." I think their answer is, "We're it." Like, and it's only two snipers, and the helicopter's getting overrun, and this helicopter's crashed. So the pilot's of no use because he's wounded. And like, it's a really good scene in the movie, but it actually sucks that it actually unfolded like that in real life, because that whole entire thing happened in 1993 in October in Mogadishu, in Somalia, which is in Africa, which really sucks that those guys actually did die.
Up here. Boss! We got somebody up here!
No, I'm not taking that one. Not yet. Okay. Then we're just gonna take out... You know, we got a lot of bullets for this. We're just gonna...
Why don't you get down here? My boys have a little talk.
traitor scum. Run as fast as you can. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That scared me. Get away from my dog. Life those be shredding that dude into pieces. I actually have not played Fallout 76. It's just I just haven't played it. I haven't been able to get a hold of it, so I'm just gonna leave that as that. You know, I don't personally think that it turned out great when they released it, but they're trying to make up for everything that they did wrong. But I don't agree with their shady business tactics that they used when marketing and selling the game, because they straight up lied and duped people, which that shit is just not cool, you know? Like, it's a bunch of friggin' BS, because they were just, you know, hungry for everybody's money, and we're just like, we're just gonna give everybody this bullshit ass shit when we promised them this, and these backers are gonna get this, you know, cool, you know, looking one that's, you know, gonna cost, you know, same amount that, you know, we originally promised these bags to be, but we're gonna give these people these shitty bags. And they just straight up lie to people, and I don't agree with that, you know? Like, and also that game was rushed, and they needed to let it sit in development for probably at least another 3 months. Like, there was a lot of shady business dealings with that, but so far they have, and also their PR team was belligerent as frack to people like saying, hey, you know, this isn't right, you know, we paid for this, we should be getting this, and people were not getting anything that they had paid for or anything, and it was really a bad situation for everybody.
The feeling's mutual, Preston.
You can never have too many friends.
But, you know, it's just really bad that they went that route instead of, you know, doing the right thing.
Well, you did.
And releasing the game when it should have been.
So here.
And,
it ain't much, but
you know, living up to the expectations of the people who literally
You're welcome. Anytime.
Well, since you say
help
that,
put money
maybe you'll
forward
come to
to pay for
Sanctuary
that
with us.
game and
We
pay
could use
for
your
a
help
lot of
getting
everything
settled
else
there.
because they were paying for a game that they didn't even know. That's the one thing I don't like about pre-ordering is you do not know
All right, Garvey. I'm in.
Oh,
what you're paying
that's
for
wonderful.
or what the content of the game is,
More to your
and they can
destiny,
screw you by not
isn't
including
there?
a pass or
I've
something.
seen it,
Like
and
I have experience
know
with that,
your
and
pain.
that game that I'm talking about is by it's Battlefield 1. I pre-ordered Battlefield 1. Oh, there was a lot of people already bringing in lawsuits on them. The way that they were able to do that was make the canvas bags that they were supposed to and
Your son's
get
energy.
stuff
He's
to people
alive.
that they had already paid for, and
I knew it. Please.
And
tell
it's
me where
just-
he is. I need to find my son.
I can't see him. Not clearly.
it's just a bad
But I
spot for them.
feel his
They were
life
gonna
force.
get sued
He's out
hardcore.
there. Even I don't
And
need the
also
sight to
that
tell you
shady
where
business
you should
dealing
start looking.
actually would
The great green
lose them
jewel
the case
of Commonwealth.
because it was advertised as a
Diamond City.
canvas bag. What people
Biggest
got
settlement
was a
around.
half-assed nylon bullshit, you know?
Please, Mama Murphy. I'm working from now.
Look, kid, I'm tired.
It's
now.
just bad.
Maybe you'll bring me
But
some chems
all in
later.
all, they're trying to make up for it. That's why they've, you know,
Talked about this.
done all
Said
this,
jump. It's
and
gonna kill you.
My shush press
that's
and
why
we're all
they're-
gonna die eventually.
they're
We're
trying
gonna
to
need
make
the sight. My
um,
new friend here, she's gonna need it too. Now
Elder
let's get
Scrolls
going. Sanctuary awaits.
6
All right, folks. Thanks to our friend here.
not
It's safe
suck
to
like
move
that.
out. We're
What
heading
they
for that
need to
place
do
Mama
is
Murphy knows about.
actually build a
Sanctuary.
brand new engine.
It's not far.
She knows about it?
And that is a big thing in itself, but that would probably be the best course of action for them is build a brand new engine instead of using
Oh, hold on,
Any
hold on.
worse than-
Everybody just take it easy.
instead of, you
We're
know,
all in
just
this together,
using the same
right?
engine that they've
So,
used
Marcy,
since
Got a better
Morrowind.
idea of what we should do next?
Literally the engine that
Anybody?
is used on Morrowind,
Well then,
which is
Sanctuary
25 years
it is.
old, because it's
let's
as
just
old
hope
as
it
I
lives
am,
up to its name.
because Morrowind came out in 1994, and I was born in 1994. That's a 25-year-old engine.
We owe
All
you,
you need is a
no
time
doubt.
So they need to make a new engine that uses the creation engine. That's the same engine that they used for Morrowind, for Oblivion, for Fallout 3, Fallout
take
New
point.
Vegas,
Stay close,
Fallout
everyone.
4, and Fallout 76 all use the creation engine. What they need to do
We're right behind you, boss.
is make a new engine so that they can have just everything a little bit better instead of building on top of the engine that they already have, because you can only go so far with using the same engine. Every engine has its own limit.
First time I've seen one of these things up close. I'm very glad it's already dead.
They could use that, but it wouldn't hold up to what they need it to do. They need one that they can build themselves, and that's built by somebody else, so they need to get another company's okay to use that. Like, they need to, I think they would need whoever made that engine, engine's permission to use it. I think, I don't know. But, like, for example, Kojima, they made the box engine for Metal Gear Solid 3 or Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5, or I can't remember, but I know it's one of the games that it's been used after they made it, but they made the Fox engine specifically for the Metal Gear series, and that's the only engine that they used for a while. And now that one was specifically made and tailored for the game because it needed to be as accurate as possible and be able to do everything that they needed it to do. And
no offense if you're from here.
what I think Bethesda needs to do, but this is just me in my opinion,
Got this. I'll find it.
is that they need to make a new engine, because that would probably be the best thing for them, so they can make the game look crisper and better and have it look, you know, just better in general. But that is just me.
Don't worry. I'll get these people to Sanctuary.
Hey, but if you haven't already, everybody just drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying the content so
Let's get
far.
to Sanctuary first, though. I think we're close.
No, they can't, because that is that belongs to EA. Or no. That belongs to either EA or DICE. They wouldn't be able to use that. They need something that's geared more towards them. So that's why I'm saying they need to build one themselves, because they've built they built the creation engine. Like, it's their engine. Like, they can use it for whatever, but it would just behoove them to make a new engine, because you can only go so far with one engine and adding on top of it.
I knew that was somewhere around town.
That's like taking a
That means this.
Hi.
I call that the best omen I've seen since we left Quincy.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
don't know
you
what
decided
you're
to come
talking
with
about,
us.
boss.
that's like taking a 1994 Nissan Civic and just adding stuff on that gets newer every year to it. You can't go, too far, with it, because after a while it'll run out and it'll peter out and it'll die because of how much you've been using it. You can keep adding on all the new stuff you want, but it's still going to have the same problems and the same flaws as it did before, and some of the new stuff that you put into it is going to end up breaking it or making it worse. So that's kind of the thing with that, is that they need to, everything that they try and fix with it, they usually end up breaking it or breaking something else. I mean, it would make modding. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem, Ray. Or Erie.
Hey.
Hey, anyway, I am glad you're here.
Okay, Mr. Strong Silent Type.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help. There's still hope in there are Minutemen out there, somewhere. The only chance to start rebuilding the Minutemen is to show people that they can count on us when they need us. Trouble is, I've got my hands full here. Do you think you could go help out the settlement?
Okay, yeah, that's great. I hope you actually do fall
That's
asleep,
fantastic.
because it's
Minutemen could
probably
use
like
people like you. By the way, if you want to help
really
out around here
early
at all, Talk
where
to
you
Sturgis.
are. It's like probably like
I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help
3:10.
he can get.
You willing to do some work?
And I really do hope that you fall asleep soon, because you need to sleep there, kiddo, because you're a little bit underneath the weather. Yeah, not a problem, creators. If you like the content,
I'd be
or
glad to
you just want to keep
Just tell
chatting
me
me
what you
up
need.
and, you know,
Well, for starters, we could
know
use
stuff,
some real beds.
or
We've been
learn
sleeping on the
stuff,
ground
that's
for too long.
cool with me.
Just make sure we can sleep
Um,
with a roof over our heads.
Thank you for
Some of these old houses
subbing,
still look
and thank you
solid
for
enough to do the
chilling
trick.
in the stream and
There's
watching.
a workbench over there you can use. Give me a holler if you need anything.
Let's go drop this off. Yes, dog me, I know you found something. You're a good boy. No, it's I like to be informed about like stuff that I'm interested in. Like, I can sit here and talk to you about guns all day because I grew up around guns, and I just know a lot about firearms in general, because I like to stay informed and on top of my knowledge, so that way I know what I'm talking about when people talk to me about firearms, or what's this new thing, or what all this, you know, stuff means. I'd rather be informed and know what I'm talking about, instead of, you know, speaking out of my butt. And I've learned that. I've never learned that the hard way. It's just I'd rather be informed and sound like I know what I'm talking about, because I'd rather have knowledge which some people don't really like. Yes, I can tell you about an AR-15. I can tell you about an AR-15 all day, because that's literally the easiest thing to talk to you about. Like an AR-15, the AR stands for Armor Light Rifle, Model 15. Not Assault Rifle, Model 15. No, that shit's just stupid. When people say that, that means they're just ignorant and they don't know what they're talking about. And you can have an AR-15 chambered in 5.56 or 2.23. I've even seen some custom ones have it in 308 or 7.62 by 39. It just depends on what you're doing with it and how you want it. Honestly, I don't think you need anything bigger than 5.56 for most things. But, and it just depends on what state you're in too, whether they want to classify it as a machine pistol or a rifle, or how you have it configured. Because if you have a stock, it's a rifle. If you don't have a stock, it's considered a machine pistol. And some states you need certain credentials to have it as a machine pistol, and you need to have a stock and a, I want to say, an 16 to 18 inch barrel to classify it as a rifle. Anything shorter, it's classified as a either an SBR, which you need a special tax stamp to have, or you have it as a machine pistol, which you still need to have additional stuff to go along with that to even have that in your possession. But if you're looking into firearms and you want a pistol, I'd say you should go with either a Beretta 9mm pistol, which there's a lot of those around because that's just the caliber. The specific model I would suggest is a Beretta 92F, because that's the one that the cops and the military have used since the late the law enforcement started using it in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The military, the United States military, didn't switch over until the mid to late 90s. and it's been tried and true up until this year or last year, when the new firearms contract for the sidearm for the United States Army went to Sig Sauer for the P320, which is a modular pistol. It can go from being a 9mm to a 40 with just disassembling the slide and taking out the barrel and putting in whatever barrel you want in there. But I would not recommend that right away, because that is a striker fire pistol, which means it doesn't have a hammer. And if you have one of those and you drop it, one of the things that can happen is that the striker hits the round and it fires. That's what one of the problems was with the P320 when it first came out. But SIG has fixed that problem, but it's still a possibility. That's why if you have a hammer, as long as the hammer is forward, the round will not fire, because the hammer is forward, and it will not strike the firing pin. The only time a weapon will go off if it's one of the old school pistols that has a hammer is if it is cocked back and it is ready to fire and you do not have your safety on. But I loved carrying a 9mm pistol when I was in the Army. That carrying those around was cool. But not all of us got those, only some of us did. And you had to be either an officer or the first sergeant or on a machine gun crew to get a pistol as a backup weapon. If you were on the line and your main weapon was an M4 or a 249 saw, you didn't get a pistol. The only guys that get standard issue pistols, or not standard issue, the only guys that are even able to get pistols as a sidearm are special forces. Those guys get to choose what pistol they take, what rifle they take. The only restriction is the caliber it's in. That's the only thing that they're restricted to. That's why special forces guys are always looking like, you know, they're the coolest thing out there, because they got usually the newest in firearms. They stay up to date with all of that, or they use tried and true stuff with some modifications to it. Like Special Forces still uses the M60, but it's not the M60 from NOM. It is the M60E, which has been shortened. It has a shorter barrel and a shorter stock, making it more compact and lighter for them to use for their sneak missions, where they need extra firepower. But yeah, or if you want something with more of a punch than a 9mm, go with a 1911 A2 .45 caliber pistol, because that's my personal preference. I actually own a 1911 A2 made by Auto Ordnance. It's the same one that the 1911 A2 is the exact same one we took into World War II, into Korea, into Vietnam, and it's what we used all the way up until the mid to late 1990s. And it's what Special Forces operators use to this day. They use some type of 45 pistol, some of them, because the original design for that weapon was originally done up in 1911, which is why they call it the 1911, is because that's the year the pistol was designed. And it has been refined, and everything is still the same. It doesn't matter who makes it. You can take any part from any 1911 that's either an A2, and you can take like 3 or 4 1911s apart, throw them into a box, shift them all around, and you can have parts from a Kimber and parts from a Nighthawk,
You could say that.
and it's
We made a
just
few new friends.
you can have random pieces from whatever, and you can throw them all together, and they'll still work because all the pieces are all the same.
No, not now.
All right then.
But yeah. That's why I rather go with the 1911. Also, tell me about MP7. I was curious about that. That's a machine pistol. That's made by H&K. H&K is a Heckler and Koch. It's a German firearms company. I really can't tell you much because I've never really fired one. I know that they have a high rate of fire and that they usually come in either 9mm Parabellum or they come in either 45 ACP. Other than that, I can't really tell you much except for it's a very reliable machine pistol or submachine gun if you need it for some close quarters combat. Okay. M4s and AR-15s are literally the exact same thing. They're both ARs. They're both armor light rifles. It's just one is called one thing and then one is another. The M4 is classified as a carbine because it has a shorter barrel. But literally, I can take the receiver off of an M4 and put it onto an AR that I buy from, the pawn shop down the street. It's all the exact same stuff. There's nothing different between either one. It's just one has a shorter barrel, making it a carbine. But it's legal to own an M4 from back in the day when they were still all stamped for law enforcement and military use only. You can still buy those they're still out in the market. You can still buy them. They're all legal. That's the minimum length that the barrel needs to be for it to be classified as a rifle. Because it's classified as a carbine rifle. They are all chambered in 5.56. And there's literally nothing different about it. M16s, same thing. They're armor light rifles. They just differ in the variants. Like there's the M16 that was from back in Vietnam. Those things were originally designed with safe, semi, and full. When I say full, I mean full auto. Those things were designed to be firing fast. They were supposed to replace the M14, which was chambered in 7.62 NATO, which is a really big round, and that can punch through the jungle canopy without a problem. It's just that they wanted to reduce the weight that soldiers had to carry. 7.62 rounds are heavier than hell. 5.56, not so much. You can carry a bunch of those and not even feel it. Okay, cool. Thanks for sleeping in my bed, douche canoe. It just depends on what you're trying to do with the shotgun. Like, if you're trying to use a shotgun for home defense, then I would have to say either a Remington 870 or a Mossberg 500 or a Steven Savage 320 12-gauge shotgun. If you're going for hunting, then I'd say a Remington 870 Wingmaster, because that'll give you just a little bit more of a range if you're going for bird hunting or deer hunting. Just curious, why are you so curious about firearms? Like, just want to know. Okay, well that's actually pretty cool. And actually, one of the things that I actually tell people is that, and actually I taught my wife about it, because my wife was actually very anti-firearm and very anti-gun because of her mother. Her mother grew up in Chile back in the day under Pinochet, who was he started a coup down there, and she saw people getting shot in the streets and everything, so she was very anti-gun, so she put that all on her daughter, that guns were bad and everything. So my wife had that growing up. But I grew up in California, which is one of the most heavily restricted states for firearms, and it's stupid and everything, but I still was able to be around firearms a decent amount of time. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. But yeah, I taught her everything she knows about firearms, and she didn't know really anything about firearms or anything. And then I just told her, to better understand firearms, you need to better understand history, because as history shows, everything changes, and when things change, you need something to go along with that. Like, when firearms came around, we were using cannons. They made an old, like, flintlock or an old matchlock pistol or rifle, which literally you had a string that was burning, and you had this little thing of black powder, and then you had this weird, like, shaped piece of wood with a half, put together trigger mechanism and thing to push the smoldering string into the black powder, and you would be able to shoot through knights' armor. That's why the days of the knights ended, is because of advances in technology and people wanting to be able to surpass the body armor that they had at the time, which was full chainmail armor. So as history has as history has shown, the evolution of firearms has been one of need and necessity. So it just is really intriguing. And then also, my wife wasn't really taught on, like, how firearms needed to be cared for, and that literally firearms carry with them a moral responsibility. Firearms are nothing more than a tool. They don't have legs, they don't go off and do their own thing. It's the people behind them that use them. They can either use them for good or for bad. And firearms, they really do carry a moral responsibility. Because you can have people like the Germans back in, 1932 when Hitler came into power in Germany, and he disarmed the entire German people, which actually was against the German Constitution at the time. He disarmed the people of Germany so that he could take over and start doing his fascist dictatorship. Now that in itself was horrible. But then you add on to what he did later, makes it even worse, because then he disarmed those people. He made them so they couldn't fight back. That's why the US, when we joined the war, that's when the turning point happened, because a lot of people weren't ready for the amount of things that were happening over there. And that's why whenever the US joined in, we took everything and we went full throttle, and we didn't care what was in the way. We took it out. But it's just dependent on what you need. Like, if you've ever played Battlefield 1 and you see the machine gun, and you see one of the machine guns, it's called the Vickers machine gun. The dude who actually made that just did that because his original plan was to patent the light bulb, but he was in Europe. Oh wait, my bad. The Maxim machine gun. There it is. Maxim. There we go. Maxim was actually an inventor. He had a light bulb, but he was unable to patent it because Thomas Edison had patented his light bulb first. So it was just really bad for him. But one of his buddies at the patent office was like, why don't you just make a gun or make something that these countries can kill each other with or paint each other red with? So he made a rough design and he refined it a little bit, and he made a very reliable machine gun with the Maxim machine gun, and it was very incredible that this guy was able to do that. But then you look at the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun was actually designed by a surgeon. Believe it or not, the Gatling gun that was used in the Civil War was actually made by a Dr. Gatling. I can't remember his first name, but it actually is in the history books. He was an actual doctor and he was a surgeon. His idea was so that way, if people saw the devastation that this thing could bring, they would not want to have it in a fight or have it in a war. They would not want to do anything anymore because of how bad the wounds and everything would be. So he thought if he could make it as horrible as possible, people would not want to fight anymore. Because he was tired of seeing dudes come in with bullet wounds or missing arms because of cannonballs. And he saw how these guys were getting all, torn up, and he just did not want to have to deal with that anymore. That's actually a lot. After the First World War, they banned using gas. Because what the Germans did is they used either mustard gas, or what's really jacked up, that still is messed up today, is that they used a chlorine gas. Now, mustard gas, your standard gas mask, will keep out. But chlorine gas, it's just horrible. It'll actually destroy the filters for a regular gas mask, and it's just the most horrible thing ever. because what it does is it sears the lungs, and it's very painful, and you just it's just bad. I really hope that nobody ever tries to use that on anybody, because that's just horrible and painful when you breathe that stuff in.
Hey,
What else? Shotguns. You can't use shotguns on people in warfare, so you can't go all Call of Duty or Battlefield and shoot somebody with a shotgun in the face, because that's illegal. You can actually face war crimes for that. You can use them to open doors, but you cannot point it at a person, because that is straight up banned. And that was done after either World War II or World War I. I can't remember. Trench knives are banned. By trench knives, I mean three-sided blades are illegal. Because the old school trench knives actually had three sides to it, so it would make a triangle or a pyramid when it went in, and those wounds wouldn't heal correctly because of how they were done. And also what soldiers would do is with the rain and everything, the knives would get all rusty and just nasty, and they would cause gangrene or rapid infections, and guys would be dropping left and right from just stab wounds because of that. And it's just very unfortunate, because it's something that they can easily get treated for, but the infection would just kill them before they were able to get the proper treatment, and they would either bleed out or they would get fixed, but the infection would just devastate their body that's already compromised, and it's just bad. I'm out of here. There's just a lot of actual different things that are banned in by the Geneva Convention. I don't know the exact comprehensive list. It goes on for a long time. But there's things that I just had to know that were illegal, because I was in the army, and I was in the infantry, so I just had to know that shotguns were a no, and you can't, do certain things because you'll go to prison for that. I just knew the bare minimum of what I could and could not do if I had to go kick in a door and go waste somebody.
Yeah?
Hi.
So what's your story? Looking to trade? Rob me? Or just ask directions to Diamond City?
Your money. All of it. Now.
This ain't
that
my first mugging. And I'm just good.
depends.
Carla.
Ah, the would-be robber. You're gonna have to shoot me, because I ain't giving you shit.
Hey, Carla.
Ah, the would-be robber. You're gonna have to shoot me,
Oh,
'cause I ain't
sorry.
giving you shit.
What now? Yeah, but that just depends, like, you know, like how you look at it. Oh, doggos. Nice. Nope, 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 nope. Bad idea. Where's the jet? There we go. I wouldn't actually say that. Because they're actually pretty on par with us. But their weapons are definitely pack a their weapons definitely pack more of a punch. They definitely actually are bigger, but they're not as big as their old USSR standard days when, you know, they could have easily taken us. But Russia wouldn't actually go to war with us. If anything, they would help us because it would most likely be the Chinese that actually attack us. But the Chinese wouldn't attack us either because most of their economy derives from the United States. That's why they keep selling stuff to us. As for having more people, no. North Korea, no. North Korea, we're basically, okay, we're basically a 12th grader in high school, and North Korea is a kindergartner. North Korea would not stand. Even though China is a ally of North Korea, China would literally just be like, yeah, y'all can go have fun with stupid over there because we're not getting involved. They've actually said that, and well, not exactly that, but they have said that they will not support any actions that are against the U.S. by North Korea. Like, it's basically them saying, hey, North Korea, don't do anything stupid, because if you attack the U.S. or any U.S. allies and the U.S. gets involved, we're not helping you. You're on your own. Because everybody knows that North Korea, it's not like the U.S. at all. But it is what it is, and I just really, I don't like North Korea because it's a shitty place, and like the humanitarian the humane treatment of the people is horrible, and they need help, but it can't get to them because of the guy they got in charge. We can't go in there and say, you know, we're gonna force feed you all of this help because they're not gonna take it. So it's just one of those things that, you know, is unfortunate. And literally there's only like one city in all of, there's like a few cities in all of North Korea that have power. Everywhere else is all dark. And you can even see that on maps. Like, if you look at maps of North Korea at night, you'll see only a few places have power, and then the rest is all dark, and people are just living in crappy conditions. See, that's where the statement I said earlier comes into effect, because we have bases in North Korea. We have like 3 or 4 bases in North Korea. No, not North Korea, South Korea, my bad. I'm getting all mixed up. We have bases in South Korea that are there, that have been there since the end of the Korean War. Just for that reason, because the war never officially ended. The only thing that happened was a ceasefire was called. But I know guys that have gone over to Korea as a duty station, and they've had to go on patrols, and North Korea pops off rounds at them, or they've found a patrol that was trying to get through the DMZ on a scouting mission, and they had contact, and they started lighting each other up. But there's little stuff like that, but that's not going to cause any actual, you know, thing, because the dudes that were sent over on the recon mission have nothing IDing them. There's nothing that links them to North Korea, because they're sterile, so they have nothing. So they're just a bunch of dudes out in the middle of the woods with military weapons. Yeah. The Russian army is actually either a little bit bigger, or it's the same size, or a little bit bigger than the U.S. So there is really like no way to say who would win or who wouldn't, because each are evenly matched in a lot of different things. So it would be something that I actually wouldn't know how to actually answer that question. And same goes for China. China has a lot of guys that they can throw out. Into the battlefield. So it just depends on like what your perception of it is. Like, if you think we can take them, then by all means go ahead and, you know, say we can take them. U.S. with allies versus Russia alone, then yeah, we would be able to take them without a doubt, hands down. But Russia wouldn't go around not having allies. They probably have their own, you know, a good majority of the old Soviet bloc states would probably help them out, along with a couple other countries. But I don't really see the U.S. and the Russians going to war. Did it already come down here? Yeah, it already came down here. No, it's not going to be the Russians. More likely it'll be the Chinese, but that's still an iffy thing. Like, since the fall of the Soviet Union, the Russians have been more open. Like, not like too much, but they've been more cooperative with asking for help or asking for aid. Like one incident is the Kursk. They didn't ask for help when that happened, and then I think like a year or two later, a mini sub got trapped underneath the water, and they asked for help from the UK. So they're more open to talking and delegating and dealing with other governments. It's just who and what it is about. So that's kind of one of the things that needs to be looked at with that. But I don't see that happening with the U.S. and Russia. World War III, not Russia, the U.S. That's some definitely old Cold War paranoia. I mean, that's just what I see it as. It's just some old leftover Cold War paranoia. Okay, well, that's going back to the days of when that's like going back back in the day, like when people were saying like the Red Army. That mean, like back in the day, red meant communist, like them damn Reds, or you know, them damn commies, because one of the communist colors was red. I don't know why, but it was. I don't know about the white though, but that's why I can say, you know, I know, you know, people saying the Red Army. That's also used in a lot of video games too, like the first Call of Duty game. When you play as the Russians, they said, you know, the Red Army. You know, that means, you know, the Russian Communist Army advanced on, you know, the Germans or the German Luftwaffe or whatever. And I think the Luftwaffe, yeah, the German Luftwaffe was their air force. Yeah, German Luftwaffe was the Air Force. The Red Army advanced on the German Army or whatever, and it would be referenced as the Red Army. So that's what that could be about. I don't know. I actually cannot tell you that. I do not actually know the question to that. I actually cannot answer that. That is a good question that I do not have the answer for. If I actually knew the answer to that, I would be more than willing to, to say something. But that actually baffles me. I actually want to look that up now. You gave me some inspiration to look that up. I'm just so lazy. I don't want to put an automatic receiver on here. I'm just taking all these extra parts that I have and just switching them around on weapons. Who all is in chat? I've had my phone plugged in up top for a while. Oh, I have 14% battery. Awesome. Better than nothing. The U.S. lost a decent amount of tanks, but a lot of those actually weren't due to Tiger tanks. There was only... There was the Tiger 1s and then the Tiger 2s. Those tanks were so resource heavy to make and then to field them. It took so much gas to put them out there that it was just too much. That's why you never really saw Tiger tanks in Africa or Italy. Or like the majority of when you saw Tiger tanks is when when the US and the Allies hit Europe. That's where majority of the Tiger tanks were. Yes, Rommel did have Tiger tanks, and there was Tiger tanks thereafter when the Germans made their counterattack, but there wasn't that many. The majority of the tanks that were there were the Panzers, or the Panther tank. Yeah, the Panzers. Yeah, the Panzers. That was the standard tank for the German army. There was Tiger tanks, yes, but not a lot that were outside the reach, because it was just so resource heavy just to get them out there and to move them. Like, literally, you can make two tanks for the weight of one Tiger tank in just metal alone. You can make 2 Panzer tanks. Things heavy. So it costs a lot to move it. It costs a lot to have it run underneath an engine. And also, the Tiger tanks had a freaking 88mm cannon. That's a... That thing was meant to take down planes. They took an anti-aircraft gun and put it onto a tank. It's insane the amount of firepower that those tanks had, yes, but was it absolutely necessary? Probably not, because their Panzers did a damn hell of a job on making U.S. losses for tanks a pain, yes, but majority of the Shermans lost weren't due to that. They were lost due to Panzers and Panzerschrecks or mines. A good amount were Tiger kills, but not all of them, or not a really big amount. Probably maybe 10% of all tanks lost were due to Tiger tanks. But the rest are either Panzers or mines or Panzerschrecks or Panzerfausts, or just infantry based weapons that were used. I would actually have to say the Germans probably lost more planes towards the middle and end of the war. In the beginning, they dealt immense damage to the RAF. But after the U.S. got involved, we were able to help the RAF by supplying them with planes, munitions, even pilots to supplement their own squadrons until they can get pilots trained and in the air. But that was just a bad thing in its own. We had guys that were over there before the U.S. was actually officially in the war, because the RAF had lost so many pilots that they needed guys to fly the planes if there were still any planes left. So the U.S. Had a volunteer program in the United States Army Air Corps for pilots who wanted to go over and fly and fight against the Germans. You know, there was actually that they could do. Store all. Drop that off. Drop that off. Don't need that. But, yeah. Also, another faction that lost, well, not faction, another country that lost a lot of people by air combat was the Japanese. The Japanese probably got the worst out of, well, not the worst. They got it bad too, because majority of their losses stem from either naval losses or aerial losses, but most of those were due to naval forces, because a lot of their planes were carrier-borne or they had air bases, and they lost a lot of planes during that too. Even though they were a small country, they lost a lot of planes, and they did lose a huge number of guys because of ground forces. But that's a completely different subject. But they definitely were one hell of a fighter culture. They did not want to surrender. That's why it was very brutal in the Pacific Theater. It's just for that reason. It was just brutal. It was also brutal in the European theater, and actually anywhere in World War II was just really brutal for everybody. Because if it wasn't the environment that was bad, it was the guys who, if they were captured, their treatment. The U.S. treated the Germans pretty fairly to some degree, but that's only what official records. I don't know what day-to-day was for them. That's a completely different thing, and I can't speak for every single thing that happened or every single thing that got documented or didn't get documented. I'm only going off of what I know and what I've heard, is that the treatment was okay, and then the same thing vice versa for captured Americans, but everybody knows that those documents could have been falsified, or, you know, everything's all weird and whatever, but that's still just another subject for a different day. But in the Pacific Theater, if you were captured or you were taken prisoner, it is you wished for a way out, because it was just bad. But now everything is awesome between the US and Japan, and the US and Germany, and US and everybody for the most part. See, that actually not so much. Usually what they would do is that they would find the spies and see if they could turn them into double agents and double cross the Nazi party, which a good majority of them actually did. They were double agents. They double crossed the Nazi party because the U.S. paid better, or they just didn't want to deal with the political party of the Nazis, so they just turned and were double agents. I mean, that's really all it was. Is just most of them just weren't double agent and just called it good. But if they didn't, then they were just held in a prisoner camp, or they were just held prisoner. Not a lot were executed. Most of them, if they were in danger of being caught, they killed themselves. But then again, you know, there are some that, you know, probably did get executed as here's an example of what's going to happen if you don't cooperate, or if you, whatever. That probably did happen. But not all of them. A lot of them usually either, hold on. That's my son. Okay, well, I got that all solved and figured. Hold on, what am I doing? Okay, that is actually going to the First World War. The Red Baron actually was the best German pilot of the First World War. That's why his plane was red. It struck fear into the it was supposed to strike fear into pilots that were flying for the Americans and the British and the Allies at the time. But he was actually shot down during the First World War. He was actually shot down and killed. Towards the end of the war. So he was the best for their side, but he was outgunned towards the end. I didn't want that. But okay, we're just gonna take some rat away. And let's get crunk. Let's just get schmammered in the daytime. It's like what, 1 o'clock? Yeah. Let's get schmammered. Hey Preston, how are you? Had one beer, I'm a little bit tipsy. Alright, okay, what am I supposed to be doing for good old Sturge? Take that off. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that shit alone until I get a higher level. Build sheltered beds for sanctuary settlers. Okay. Y'all ain't gonna like it, because y'all are gonna get sleeping bags. I don't care. Sleeping bags, everybody. Hey, look, you got shelter. You can sleep outside. But since I need that for work, area, if you had to say, I'd have to say U.S. Special Forces. I'd have to say either it goes to either Delta or Green Berets. Navy SEALs are in there too. It goes Delta, Green Berets, Navy SEAL, and then MARSOC, which is the Marines Special Forces.
Excuse me.
I like it. Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's spirits. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great. Thanks again.
Hey.
I feel better already, knowing we have a reliable supply of clean water. I hope you don't mind me asking for some more help, but our food supplies are running low. If we're gonna settle here, we'll need to get some crops established.
I'll start planting right away.
Good deal.
No, the Marines did not kill Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was actually captured by United States Army Rangers, and he was actually hung back in 2005 or 2006. He was tried in front of a court and found guilty of war crimes, and his punishment was to be hanged. And he was hanged. His execution was televised.
Hey.
Hey, do you have a moment? I wanted to thank you for helping us out in Concord. If only we'd run into you sooner.
What happened to you guys?
Long story short, we've been on the move since the attack on Quincy. There used to be more of us. My son, he's gone.
Your son. What was his name?
Kyle. My son's name was...
Yeah, the Marines didn't kill Saddam Hussein.
I understand how you feel. I lost someone too.
But you and I, we're still here, right? We have to go on. For them.
But, yeah. I think you're thinking of, Osama. He was actually killed by, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Osama was actually, killed by Navy SEALs. I think that's the one you're thinking of. Is him? Yeah, he was killed by
Seems to be growing well.
by Navy SEALs. I think that was specifically SEAL Team 6. And SEAL Team 6 is the best of the best out of all of the SEALs. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of a give and a take, you know. Okay, the SAS is better than SEALs. Actually, no. The SAS is actually really on point. Um, like they are really really good at what they do. Um, I wouldn't say that they're better, but they are definitely well matched. Like, they're pretty even throughout everything. Like, they're pretty good. Like, I really wouldn't, like, say, you know, SEALs over SAS, but they're pretty well matched. Like, if they had to go toe to toe, I actually don't know who would win. Is there anything over here that I can use? Or is there anything that's like food? No? Okay. No, the Secret Service does not count as special forces. The Secret Service is a separate entity that their sole priority is actually the protection of the president, and not only the president, but of the currency. They actually have a hold on. They actually have 3 different jobs inside the Secret Service itself. One is being a field officer, which is was being a field agent, and that is either protecting the president or protecting all assets related to the Treasury. And that means anybody that is like counterfeiting money or anything like that, they actually go and do an investigation on that, and those are like way beyond my pay grade. I just know that that's one of the jobs because I have actually applied to work for the Secret Service. It's just when it came time for my application, they no longer needed people. So they're just like, yeah, sorry, we cannot advance your application because our hiring process for this year has now ended. We have met all of our intake demands, so if you want to try next year or whenever, go ahead and please try. That's what they told me. But they're on point, and a lot of those guys that are in the Secret Service used to be, either special forces or they are, or they were in, you know, whatever branch they were in. Most of them are all veterans. And then you got the ones that aren't veterans, that are, you know, just regular civilians that were able to, you know, get in there and, you know, keep up with, you know, everything. They are a federal agency, but that's one of their jobs, is to deal with the currency. They're there just to make sure it stays safe from counterfeiting. They're not there to make sure it stays safe everywhere. No, that's not what I'm trying to get at. They're there just to make sure it just stays safe, you know, in general. But yeah. The FBI is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They investigate, you know, cartels. They investigate high level crime syndicates. They do a lot of different things that the CIA doesn't need to actually do. The CIA is the Central Intelligence Agency. Their sole job is to collect information for the United States government. They do not care what, you know, some dude is running across the border. They care about other stuff that's, you know, high priority. That is a threat to national security. They care about stuff like that. That's why there's all the other agencies that are there just to deal with that. The FBI covers more of, you know, stuff that spans really big investigation processes. Though the FBI had a very rocky start in the beginning. Like, the FBI was on the verge of no longer being the FBI at one point, because they were in so much stuff. What? Can the FBI arrest the CIA? That depends on whether the person from the CIA is doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Then they can easily do that. But in general, no, because the CIA is just there to collect information. And how they do it, I don't know, because that's still like way above my pay grade. The FBI, they do their investigation like how everybody else does their investigations. They get stuff signed off by judges for search and seizures or searches, and
they have to know they can't get away with that shit. Don't come any closer, friend. This doesn't concern you.
Please, help! They're going to kill me!
Shut up!
right.
Look, I'm sure we can work this out. No one has to die.
Fat chance. This synth has been watching us for weeks, knows everything about us. We let this thing go. How long before it comes back with its Institute buddies to put us down? Why the hell would we risk that?
No.
You need to let him go.
No.
Think about it. If he meant to hurt you,
The
wouldn't he
FBI
have done it
can't.
already?
Well,
Maybe he's
they
just
can,
biding
but they
his time.
usually
I don't know.
don't.
If he was with the Institute...
That's a risk. I'm willing.
Come on.
You're serious. All right. But if I ever see you again,
Most of the time, the FBI just lets the regular cops do the crime scene check, but usually if they do that, they usually try and have the FBI work with the cops very well, and usually the cops and the FBI agents that are there usually work pretty well with each other, unless, you know, there's some friction between them, and, you know, that's just on an individual level. The FBI wants to assist and help the local law enforcement agencies usually as much as possible.
Better hope I never see his face.
But, yeah. Yeah, that's Brahmin. I don't care. Brahmin is fine. Starlight driving. Yeah, but usually the FBI won't do that. They won't push people away. It's just bad for everybody if they do that. Yes, there is a lot of different agencies out there. Now, there's definitely a lot of different agencies out there. That is for damn sure. And there goes one. There goes two.
Nice.
Should get radioactive material with those barrels, but whatever. Like there's a lot of agencies out there. I've actually worked for the TSA. I worked at the Seattle Tacoma International Airport. That was an okay job, but it just didn't pay me enough. So I ended up having to leave because the pay was just not enough to maintain me and my family. So I had to leave the agency. Yeah, but if anybody wants to talk or ask a question, go ahead, feel free. I am definitely not afraid to let you guys know. The U.S. did not kill Fidel Castro. That's some made up stuff. Fidel Castro is alive. Well, I think he's still alive. But he handed over control of Cuba to either his son or his nephew. Because Fidel Castro was getting too old to run the country. So he handed over control to either his son or his nephew, yeah. And I think that's like the third or fourth time I've died. Oh, yay. I get to do everything all over again. Yay. So done with this. Canada never actually owned the Alaska. Canada never sold that at all. That was I don't know where that's coming from.
Hey, Sturgis.
But it's
I like it.
permanently
Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's
the
spirits.
U.S.
What we need now
unless
is a reliable
somebody
source of clean water.
tries to
I don't know. Clean water.
tries to take it over.
Great.
Hey, Sturgis.
I feel better already. Knowing we have a reliable... I hope...
I'll start planting right away.
Good deal.
It's actually not on their territory. No. That's like saying Japan owns Hawaii because Hawaii is in the middle of the ocean. It's just not plausible. Or Cuba owns Puerto Rico because it's, you know, closer down there. That's not how it works. Just because it's somewhere that's not continental United States doesn't mean it's not there, you know. It's permanently the U.S. and it's not on their territory. That's all U.S. airspace. That's all U.S. And it's been like that for a very long time. Same thing with Puerto Rico. Even though Puerto Rico is a territory, it's not a state, it's a territory. Just like the U.S. Virgin Islands and Guam. Guam is a territory. The U.S. Virgin Islands is a territory. There's a couple other places. I think 2 or 3 other places that are territories as well. But yeah, I mean they all fall under the U.S. As authority, but nothing really major usually happens. I got ambushed. No. Vladimir Putin is the, I think, president? So I think they have a general election, but I don't really know. If he's marked as a prime minister, that means they have an election. But as far as I know, it's probably going to be until he wants to leave. So yeah, maybe until he's dead or he wants to not do it anymore. But I do believe that it's going to be an election process for who replaces him. but do not quote me on that. I don't really know much about foreign politics. I just share my opinion and my thoughts. I don't really know how it works over there in good old motherland Russia. Well, that depends, like, on the Russian people, if they want it to change or not. Just depending on what country you're from, like, you can have, like, different thoughts about people or other countries' governments, like, as much as you want. It just depends on, what the people of their country think of what they need. And that's usually what the process is. Is that. Alright, that should be 1 pound less. And that's 3 pounds, so drop that. And then go back to Sanctuary, drop off stuff. Yeah. No, but seriously, if anybody wants to, like, chime in on the chat or anything, go ahead. Like, I want to know what you guys' thoughts and what everything is, or if you guys know something that I don't, then please, speak up. Let creators know, like, because I'm always up for learning and everything. Yes, I have been shot. I've been shot and I have been stabbed. Damn, blood bug. Yeah. Yes, Bloom, I am cray cray. How you doing, Bloom? It's good to see you. Yeah, I've been at this for about almost 3 hours now. Depends on where you get shot. Like me, I was shot in the leg when I was about 12. And that shit's painful as... Just, it's fucking painful as fuck. Okay, Bloom. Well, I'm still awake. You're still awake. We're all still awake. But yeah, being stabbed fucking sucks ass too. That shit was painful. No. Burning is a different feeling, but that shit's fucking painful too. And actually, hold on. Where is my phone? Is that my phone? Yeah, that's my phone. Yay! Found my phone. Awesome. Alright, well, whatever. My phone is being lame right now. Wait, after I did all that, I need to sleep so I can save. And also just do this so I can say, yeah, I drank. Yeah, but everybody, welcome to the stream. Yeah.
Seems to be growing well.
Just gonna plant that so I can get this out of the way and get it done with. When I get mute fruit from I can't remember where I get mute fruit from. I think that's the which one is it? I think it's the MP5 is an old school submachine gun made by H&K, which is Heckler & Koch again. It's probably one of the more well-known submachine guns out there that's still in use. It was brought into use in the 80s and 90s for a lot of different law enforcement agencies and a lot of different militaries as a duty weapon for tactical teams or SWAT or special forces or law enforcement. But yeah, it's very well known. The P90, yeah, I know about that, just not too much. I don't really know too much about the P90, except for it's a bullpup design, and that the magazine is on the top instead of a magazine that's fed through the bottom. Yeah, that's my extensive knowledge on it. It just depends on your actual own strength on what you can actually hold. It just depends, because there's a lot of different weapons that have a lot of different recoil that it can affect you like that and how you're shooting. Kind of just depends on you. Like, I've seen like 14-year-old kids be able to handle a Desert Eagle that's chambered in a 50 caliber, and that thing kicks like a mule, and they can handle it. I've seen grown adults that can't handle it, and they end up letting it come back and whack them in the face, and it just knocks them out for a good couple hours. It just depends on you and like what your extent of firearm knowledge is, and your actual body weight in itself. Because if you have the proper stance, recoil ain't nothing but a funny little word. But there are some weapons that are pretty hard to control. Probably I'd say a Barrett is really hard on you for recoil. if you don't hold it right, or a AA-12 if you don't know how to handle that, because that's a fully automatic shotgun. But still, in general, like, most people wouldn't be able to have those anyways, because they're illegal for civilians to have. But most guns are pretty easy. I mean, it's just recoil that is whatever. I mean, it just depends on you. But hard to handle. I'd probably say, well, actually no, an elephant gun is actually hard to handle, and it's a fucking 10 gauge shotgun, basically, with slugs. I mean, that shit's fucking demolishing shoulders. Probably, and also I'd have to say a 500 Magnum. That's also a pain in the dick as well.
Bingo.
Cause that one, those suck. Those break wrists because of the recoil. If you're not careful. I mean, that's about as much as I know. Hello. Oh well, those scissors are forever in that sink now. Think I lost Sturgis. Oh, nope, he's right here.
Sturgis.
Well, this place is starting to feel like home. Now that we can grow our own food, I think we can really make a go with this. Trouble is, the more we establish ourselves here, the more of a target we become. What we need is to get some defenses set up. Then maybe Preston will be able to relax a little bit.
I'm on it.
Ah, thanks. It'll make everyone feel more secure here.
Oh, my back. Alright, well, it is now 2:05 in the morning. It is getting pretty late for me. I will be back later on today, probably at around 12 or 1 o'clock, whenever I have Little Souls asleep again for his nap, and I will be back. But you guys are awesome, and I hope that you guys have a great morning, afternoon, or night, or whatever time it is where you guys are. I hope you have a great and wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all next time. So later. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.